I had the opportunity to taste a lot of homemade wines.
My number one for the entire trip was Girocaster.
Some of the Airbnbs that we've stayed in just were magnificent.
Every once in a while, these little old town properties can pop up and foreigners can own property in Albania. Yo, what's up with it? We're here with Aunt Renata. Yeah, she's...
I'm from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
And she likes Albania.
Oh, I do. I really had a very nice day. I've been here 8 days now, and it just really exceeded my expectations. Tirana is very chill, very European. The men are well dressed, the women are well dressed. Everybody sits around and drinks coffee and espresso. The food was incredible. I'm a pescatarian, so everything just was amazing. From the burek, which is like a spinach pie with feta, to the grilled vegetables, to the tzatziki's. Even the pizzas were really good. A little bit of a combination of Greek, Italian, and Albanian food. So it would be very easy for a vegetarian, not really a vegan, but a vegetarian, to have no problem eating out. And for a vegan, there's so many fresh fruit and vegetable stands. You could just make your own food very inexpensively. We did today find a place that makes amazing falafels for the vegans, but I'm telling you, for the vegetarians, it's like a food paradise.
Yeah, if you eat cheese, you're fine. You don't have a problem in the world here if you eat dairy.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have a lot of options in restaurants, but I think it's better to cook at home. I think I can make a lot of good food for a lot less money, and the grocery stores here are cheap. Out of all the places you went, where did you like the most? What did you like the most about it? And what do you think people who are looking to, like, in your demographic, who are getting ready to retire and like get the hell out of America or out of the UK or out of any of these crazy countries and have a more like comfortable, chilled out life, which place do you think kind of like checks all those boxes?
As far as retirement goes, I would say Vlore, which is on the Albanian Riviera.
Okay.
Or Tirana.
Okay, why?
The reason why is Tirana is a small but vibrant city. There's definitely shopping on a couple of different levels. You could shop inexpensively, or they have some more higher end stores. That's for, women shopping, men shopping. It looks like the vegetables and the food that you could buy in the markets, very inexpensive. The restaurants, which really surprised me is I am a wine drinker. So, you can buy a nice bottle of wine. It could be Albanian or Italian for like $10 or less. I've had some homemade wine in Berat, and that was a beautiful town. I think you could probably retire there if you probably had a partner or a roommate. Because if you don't really know a lot of people, I didn't really spend a lot of time in Berat.
I didn't see any expats. There's like none in Berat.
Yeah, so I think that for retirement, Tirana or Vlore. I think Saranda is beautiful. It reminds me more of a younger person's, maybe 20s to 40 kind of a demographic. I still loved it, but Vlore is very classy, and I noticed that there was a lot more people in my demographic from what I was able to see.
Well, the problem with Saranda is that it's a really small city and it's really far from the airport. But, we weren't there long enough to fully see the whole thing, so I guess it's kind of hard. And then it rained one of the days, so you kind of missed out a little bit on what the real vibe of the city might have been. But I found that the restaurants down there were good. I feel like Saranda is a better compromise between Tirana and like Berat.
Oh yeah.
Like if you want to go really small mountain town, like that's going to be a peaceful, cheap existence. But then like off-season Saranda is also going to be really, really cheap. And it's still big enough that you're still in a city, right? It still felt like a city.
Well, I think Tirana, for people in my demographic who are considering retiring,
Like Berat for me feels like
Yeah.
a little bit more than a village.
Yeah.
Like it does have a little urban area, but like it's pretty rural, you know?
But again, we there's probably so many little beach places if you're just looking for chill.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's some little beach communities.
And guys, they're cheap.
yeah.
I mean, you could pay like off season, I mean, 200 euros to 400 euros for like an ocean view place.
Like if you just want to like part of the year just you know, spend some time on the Albanian Riviera and just chill. The water is beautiful. There is definitely good food wherever you go in Albania from the places I've been.
And the off season is actually kind of cool because there's nobody there. So even though you're not going to necessarily go swimming, you have the hiking to yourself, you have the castles to yourself, you have the views, the restaurants to yourself. Even more so, what I saw in Saranda was like, that place was empty.
It is so very beautiful though. I mean, you can really, it looks like there's a lot of condos and hotels that you can rent out rooms for really inexpensive. The coffee's really good. It's very chill. And
What did you think of Apollonia, the ruins?
oh, that was really beautiful. I mean, that really, there's a museum there that had artifacts all the way back to like almost
12,000 BC,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
was the oldest.
BC.
Yeah.
You know, just things that were made really
Oh,
primitively.
sorry, not 12,000. Was it 12? Yeah, 12,000. That's right. It was the Proto-Illyrian people. That's what I asked him. I was like, what are these? And he said, basically all we know about them is that they were farmers from Anatolia and that the modern Indo-Europeans eventually just wiped them out and became the dominant group in Europe. I learned a lot there just from talking to the guy for 5 minutes.
Wow. No, there's some, Albania is such a beautiful, it's very mountainous. It's got the Adriatic Sea
And the Ionian Sea, I'm not sure I'm
Right.
saying that right, but it's kind of how it sounds.
Saranda is very close to the Greek island
Corfu, you can see it. It's
Yeah.
right there. That's why I want to invest in Saranda, because Saranda doesn't have a fucking international airport. And I think that once it does, that place is going to blow up. I mean, it's just the Mediterranean. There's only so much space. Like, it's going to have to. It's like Croatia, Montenegro. Only a few countries have their share of the water here. You know, and Greece has most of it.
But the water on the Albanian Riviera is just amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a turquoise blue. Just to change for a minute, we arrived in Vlore. That was our first stop on the Albanian Riviera, and the sun was going down, and it was just magnificent. The ocean's right there, and there's restaurants and people walking around. We ate at a really nice restaurant that night, and they brought me out this like fish that looked like they just caught it. It was a sea bass and it was huge, delicious, and just cooked to perfection and filleted.
It was crazy expensive, but she said that it was still cheaper than what it would have been in the States.
Yeah. And it just melted in your mouth. It was great. And so I think that Albania is definitely a foodie's paradise.
Oh God, you could eat forever here. Jesus Christ.
I had the opportunity to taste a lot of homemade wines. This one restaurant we ate at in Berat, he said that this was wine made by his father, and it was really delicious.
And the restaurant was made out of stone.
Well, the restaurant looked like a cave. There was only like 6 tables in there, and the host was very fun and friendly, and his wife did the cooking, and it was all homemade and really delicious.
If you guys haven't spent time in Europe, I mean, some of these old towns are just carved right out of the mountain, basically.
What was that?
Incredible, Berat. But my number one for the entire trip was Geocaster. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but that place was like, I have never seen anything like that. That castle was so intact, and like the views were just insane.
Yeah.
It's like a city built into stone going up the side of a sheer cliff.
Yeah, the views are amazing, and we had a really great dinner in Geocaster.
Best food I had in Albania so far.
And this guy was written up like one of the best from TripAdvisor. So there was a lot of people that were very aware. It's the name of the restaurant is called Taverna Traditionale, and he came out and he was just so friendly. He was suggesting things on the menu for vegetarians and said, if you don't like this, you don't have to pay for it. He came out with a complimentary shot of raki, which is the Albanian homemade liquor here, pretty similar to like an ouzo from Greece. I have to say, you know, he even after we finished dinner had us doing the Albanian traditional dance, which was kind of fun. So we really had quite a nice meal there. And
guys, like less than $30, and it was like a stupid amount of food.
Yeah, I think it was like we ordered like
for 3 people,
a lot of food, and we just shared everything. And had a half a liter of wine. And
you got to walk a little bit outside of the old town. You got to walk up to the castle, but it's worth it. And even in the old town, though, everything I ate in the old town I liked in Gjirokastër. I didn't have a meal there that was bad. No, I mean, like literally, even the coffee place was pretty okay and interesting, carved out of stone. I mean, that's the kind of place you'd want to go if you planned to write a book, or if you just wanted a lot of solitude to work on a project and you just wanted to eat really good food and go hiking all the time. I mean, that's the kind of place, like, it's like Berat, I think, like for people who just want to get a car and go drive to the canyons, to the mountains, you know. But there's a lot of that here. Whereas Saranda, I think, 3 months a year, it's going to be party town, maybe 4, I don't know how long this season is, but in the off season, it's going to be like empty.
Well, one thing that we haven't mentioned is some of the Airbnbs that we've stayed in just were magnificent. If you're going to travel, you know, as a couple or as and a couple of other people, you can rent whole apartments that are like no more than $65 a night, and that's on the high end.
And guys, like if you don't want to deal with the Airbnb, just message us and we'll try our best to get Albanian people to find you better prices than Airbnb.
But I have
for longer term rentals. Like if you're just coming for a couple days and you want to Airbnb, whatever. But if you want to save a little money and have a place in one of those towns lined up, let us know. Because like if you want to live in Gjirokastër or you want to live somewhere outside of the capital, we need a little time to have our Albanian people start working on it. So just give us a heads up. If it's Tirana, it's like 1, 2, 3. But if it's a smaller city, we could still do it. We just need you guys to start the process sooner.
We stayed in a couple of different places that were really lovely. They all had their own charm. One of them was when we had gotten to Vlore. It was newly refurnished. It was a penthouse. You looked out the window and the sea was right there. It was walkable, a little bit of cobblestone, but just really easy to get into town and go to restaurants. Then when we had gotten to Berat was like an old Ottoman. An
Ottoman town with like a fortification.
And we had like a rooftop place where we could sit outside on the patio, and the view was amazing. There was a tables crazy. And a little couch out there.
It was a 600-year-old house.
Yeah, and it was just, you know, separate rooms.
Guys, I've seen those on the market for about like 65 to like 85 in Berat. The guy said you can get them for like 50 or 60, but they're going to be like a lot of work. But like I've seen a couple of once in a while pop up, but there's not much available in towns like Berat or Gjirokastër because these are almost all family homes. But every once in a while, these little old town properties can pop up and foreigners can own property in Albania. It's a way for us to get you residency. We can hook you up with our real estate people. They'll help you get the property you want, and then they'll help you apply for the residency with the property. So, I mean, you know, if there is a specific cool little back road town that you want to live in, you know, we can maybe do it.
Wrapping up what I thought about Albania, I just think it's really awesome. Tirana's a lot of fun, good restaurants, friendly people, amazing history. There's a lot of different interesting history if you're a history buff.
Some of it's very dark.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had a hard time, Albania, but the people are friendly. I just had a really good time, and I definitely would come back. I think that it could appeal to all different ages, including if you were considering retiring.
And, you know, to be honest, if you were going to retire, even if you made $1,000 a month here, you could live very comfortably.
Oh yeah, it's very inexpensive. I mean, as a wine drinker, you can get inexpensive but good wine. There's inexpensive cocktails. Everything is like $3 or $4. You know, fancy drinks are like $6.50.
Very fancy.
With Prosecco and Saint Germain, and you know, you could get like Chevets on the rocks for like $4. So everything, you know, most of the plates we were ordering were anywhere from $3, $4. Maybe a pizza was like what, $4 or $5?
Usually they're about $5. It can sometimes go to $7 if it's extravagant.
So you can live here as inexpensive or expensively as you want.
Oh, you could go nuts here if you want. We can get you €1,000 and above apartments that, you know, you're starting to talk about really nice views, 3-bedroom apartments. Like, I mean, that's in the capital. I mean, you gotta understand, you go to a place like Saranda, if you've got like 200 grand to play with and you want to get yourself a property, you are going to get some cool place. Like, it's going to be like beautiful views, big space, fully remodeled. And even if you want to get like a cheap fixer-upper, I mean, they got stuff at like the €50,000 mark. I mean, it's so easy to just get into the market right now. And like, you're right next to Greece, you're right next to Croatia,
Italy,
Montenegro.
You can take a ferry or a short airplane ride to Italy.
Turkey, Istanbul, you know.
Yeah, you're surrounded by a lot of beautiful country and not far from Croatia or Montenegro.
And like for me, where I have to do business in Asia, and sometimes I have to be in Asia, it's not too bad because you can always hit Istanbul, and in Istanbul you can hit like UAE to points in Southeast Asia, to Vietnam, Thailand. So this is actually not as bad as like being in other parts of the world. You have a couple hubs between Asia and here. And then coming from the States, you have hubs coming all throughout Europe. So, I mean, it's a little off the beaten path, but that's why it's so cheap.
Yes.
You know, you get a good deal because it's a little more remote. Certain services are going to cost more. There's some issues with development, you know, but listen, I don't think that the trade-off is not worth it. It's worth it, you know? I think whatever little lifestyle things you're going to have to adjust to here are going to be better than what you would have in a developed Western country. All I can say, guys, is I'm not retirement age. She's only been here for about a week, and this is her opinion. So if you are in that demographic and you wanted to hear what somebody who's a little closer to your age thinks, well, there she is. And if you want to work with your favorite, you know how to find me. Brush your teeth. What do you think of when you think of Albania? I think of opportunity. I think of a country that's open. I think of a country that wants long-stay expats, that wants people to come and invest, wants new ideas, and is looking towards the West. I think that Albania is a beautiful country with incredible landscapes that can offer a very comfortable lifestyle at a very reasonable price. We will help navigate your journey to becoming an expat in Albania. We're working with some of the top lawyers. We can help establish businesses. We can help you get your residency. We can help you get real estate. We can arrange almost any contact that you might need for the process of moving here in almost any city in the country. We will simplify the process. We'll make it a lot easier for you to move to a country that maybe in the past would have been more of a challenge. With our help, it's going to be a walk in the park.
Brush your face and wash your teeth, son.
Hey, what's up? I'm D from Canada. Hook up with the New York Nomad if you want a smooth ride into Vietnam or any Southeast Asian countries.
Hey, my name is Aaron. Get in contact with the New York Nomads. If you want to get into Vietnam, hit them up. They'll get you in securely and professionally.
Yo, this is Uncle Hollywood. I'm telling you right now, the New York Nomad got me a job. He's legit. Hit him up. Check him out.
New York Nomad set me up in Vietnam.
Yo, my man got me a job. Come to Vietnam.
Hey, what's up, guys? You thinking about coming to Vietnam? You're not sure where to start? You've heard a lot of things online. You don't know what's true. You don't know what's not. We offer a consulting service where we help you get on your feet in Vietnam. We give you advice on negotiating contracts with employers. We help you with real estate agents, visa agents that are reliable and that you can trust. We help you get started in this amazing country and get on your feet. We help you get into different opportunities that might be more difficult for you if you were just landing in the country on your own. And we help you avoid a lot of the pitfalls and problems that you could have as a newcomer here. We provide you with reliable job recruiters, visa agents, real estate agents, and advice. If you guys are thinking about coming to Vietnam, hit us up for a consultation. We'll help you get started, help you get on your feet, and hopefully you'll love Vietnam as much as we do.